Hey guys, and welcome back to another ASMR video. In today's ASMR video we're going to be going over some of my favourite films to date really. I have lots of films. I've wrote a couple of them down and some of them are extremely weird. I seem to remember this was a request somebody made quite a while ago and I never actually got around to doing it. I think I briefly mentioned some of my favourite films. This is a new list that I've made, and I'm just going to talk to you so you can just like switch off, relax. If you're a film enthusiast, you will probably disagree with a lot of my choices. I just like films because I just think they're cool. They're normally really bad films that a lot of people don't like. Some of them are really good films, like proper cult classics. Most people just don't like them, which is understandable. I see the flaws in them, but I'm like, whoa, that's a cool film. That looks cool. I like it. I don't really take other people's opinions into account, and by no means am I a professional film reviewer or critiquer. I just kind of enjoy films that go yum 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 or kissy kissy kiss and make laugh. Ooh, I've just remembered another film. There's another film, I can't remember what it is, but it's where two people, it's like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's really really good. It's like there's two families. No, there's one family and they have two friends. They're not interested in each other, the two friends, but they tried to like get together, but it didn't work. Then the family has a kid. They get wiped out in a car crash. The child survived, and then those two other people were in the will given custody of the child. Well, whatever it is, and then they have to basically work together to bring this child up. And it's just really good, and they end up falling in love, and then they break up, but then they fall back in love, and it's just a really good film, and it's really funny, and I just really like it. It's just like one of those films that make, I know this sounds really pathetic, and just, but yeah, it just makes me feel really like warm inside, if that makes sense. It's like the film equivalent of sitting down and having like a hot mug of like hot chocolate, and it's like really cold outside, it's raining, you've been out all day, you're back, you've had a shower, you sat down, you're drying off, you've got your slippers on, you've got your dressing gown on, and it's just really nice, and you're on like a really comfy settee, and you're just there, and you've just got the entire day to waste away. It's like a Saturday. It's just one of those films where you're just like, yeah, I understand that, it's a great feeling. I might as well go with all the lovey-dovey films, since I started off with a lovey-dovey film. The next film that I really enjoy is Bridget Jones. I guess you guys probably didn't see that coming. Of course you saw that coming. Bridget Jones is just a great set of films. I don't think I've not liked one. The recent one, the Bridget Jones baby one, is a bit iffy. Like, it's not as good as the other ones, but they're still funny. They're still really good, and I just enjoy them a lot, to be honest. Hugh Grant, love Hugh Grant in anything. He's like just a really good actor. I feel like he plays a good bumble character, if that makes sense. It's thingy and thingy. There's two actors in there, and they're both really good. I think Hugh Grant, is it? Yeah. Anyway, there's two actors and they're in there. I'm really bad with actor names as well. I like films a lot and I watch a ton of them, but I can't remember actors' names for some weird reason. They just escape my head completely. But yeah, the two people in that, the two guys in that, in the recent, not the Bridget Jones baby one, even though he was a good actor too, but the original two who like vie for a love and whatever, they're really good. Yeah, any film with any of those in, I just love completely. I just think it's a really good film because it's just like, I don't know, it just feels so homely and like relatable in a weird way. Even though I'm not a girl, it just feels like a relatable kind of like love story from like the guy's perspective to like vying over somebody. Long story, but yeah, I just think it's really relatable and really fun, and definitely very funny. Next film was Love Actually. Everyone, if you live in Britain, you have seen Love Actually a million times. If not, where have you been? It's on every Christmas, every New Year, every single time it's Christmas. Love Actually will be on Channel 4 somewhere, and you can find it and you can watch it free of charge, unless you don't have a TV license, and you probably need to buy one of those. But yeah, you can just watch Love Actually. It's one of those DVDs that you'll always see in a charity shop. You'll walk in and be like, oh yeah, Love Actually, and it costs like 50p or whatever. But it's just a really good film, to be honest. It's a story of like a Christmas time where there's like a ton of separate people and they're all kind of linked, but not really linked. Like, Do you know if someone said there's a film and there's a ton of people and they kind of a link, you'd be like, oh yeah, right. So you'll have like the influence on each other's lives. Not necessarily. These people don't really have an influence on each other's lives. They just happen to like cross over. Like somebody will go to like, there's a scene where like the prime minister and somebody else and the secretary go to like a play, and at that play there's a boy whose story you've been following who's in love with another girl in the play who he plays the drums to and then falls in love with, and eventually kiss and all that. But it's not like it's almost linked, but it's not like directly. I think it's just a really good film. It shows all the different perspectives of love, if that makes sense. So it shows young love, old love, cheating, money love, like buying stuff through like gifts and stuff, and how that doesn't work. True love, in a sense, and abroad, continental love, and all that. They're my favourite couple. The Spanish one. It's so funny. They do like he bursts into the restaurant. And he's like about to propose to her, and they do like a translation scene, and he's like been trying to learn Portuguese to like ask her out and ask her to marry him, and he just like messes up completely. It's just completely funny, but it's so wholesome at the end. Like people always cry, and it's got an amazing soundtrack and so many famous people in it. I think it's even got Rowan Atkinson has like a 5-minute like part in it, but it's a really good part. Next is onto the more actiony. Actually, I've got one kind of last lovey-dovey film. It's more like a kind of like a life lesson film. It's called Click. Not many people might have heard of Click. Popular in the USA, is an American film, but it's basically about a guy who has like a TV remote, and he gets it from like this mysterious department store, and it does a ton of things, but it relates to his life. So, you know, a TV remote has like a pause button. If you press pause, it pauses his life. If you press fast forward, it fast forwards. If you press rewind, it rewinds. I don't think it does. Wait, does it rewind? No. And there's like a scene select where you can go back to the best moments in his life and watch it. The catch is the person who sells him the remote is secretly the devil, which is a cool thing. They don't really allude to that too much, but towards the end, it's really cool. It's called Morty because that's a reference to devil stuff. But yeah, it's just really, really good, and it opens your eyes towards the end because you'll watch it and you'll be like, wow, like I better not waste a second. I'll give you a brief outline of what happens. He uses a remote and he keeps on pressing fast forward to like skip the boring things like family coming over, eating meals together, stuff that you would probably dread deep down. He like skips taking his kids to school or stuff. I don't think he actually skips stuff like that. But anyway, then the controller goes to like autopilot mode and it just keeps on fast forwarding and it just goes through his life as he like gets older and older, and he can see himself because like, I don't know, some like scene selecty thing. It's all explained, but it's really good. It makes sense. Well, for a magic remote who can send you into the future. But yeah, and he keeps on fast forwarding. It goes into autopilot, and he eventually sees himself becoming old, and eventually dies. His kid grows up. His wife divorces him, and everything. And then it's just like, and he dies at the end. And it just teaches you that even if you are going out to do something really crap today, like say I have the relatives coming over for tea, and I don't really like my relatives, I don't really like talking, I should value that for what it is and just, you know, and try to enjoy it, even though it's something I don't like. They won't be there forever, I won't be there forever, and I might never get to have that experience again, and it could be fun. You never know. Everything in life could be good. It's just a really good film, and it's just a really good like story. Anyway, enough mushy stuff. I've got some more like kind of feel good romancy ones, but more actiony. Robin Hood, not the first Robin Hood, the one with Kevin Costner in it. Really good film. Robin Hood, usual Robin Hood thing. Stuff from Rich Kid to the Poor. Guy who plays Snape does the Sheriff of Nottingham really well, like crazy well. It's just like a really funny film to watch. And if you want a kind of like feel good, epic love story, it's definitely a good one. I liked it a lot, and the ending's really good as well. It sounds really babyish when you say watch a Robin Hood film, because it's not gritty action, it's just like really good action, but it's not even that actiony. It's a weird combination of like, it's an adventure film, if that makes sense. Like I really like films where like they build up on stuff, like not in the story sense, but as in like actual like build, like a settlement, if that makes sense. like what other films do they build like a settlement in? Kind of like Maze Runner, how they like build it up, and it's like survival stuff. That's the best way I can describe it. I've got a really good show in my head. Now I'm trying to remember what it's called, because that's a really good example of like building up stuff. I think there was a show on called like the Eden Project, not the Eden Project, like Eden, and they put like a ton of strangers together, and for a year, and they like let them survive and like make their own roles, and it was like, it's really good. I like survival stuff. That's a weird revelation. So more actiony things. Braveheart's a really good film. If you're Scottish, you've seen it. If you're English, you've probably not seen it. Really good film. It's long, a little bit complicated, but it's good. Dark, kind of scary as well. We've got Venom as well, the new one. Venom, I really like that film. It's probably one of like my favourite films. I just really enjoyed the humour in it. I thought the humour was like a massively overlooked part of the film. It's just really funny. I liked it. My kind of humour. All the Matrix films, of course, actiony. Keanu Reeves, it's just a good like switch off, cool like thing. It's just cool. It's great. And there's kids now who haven't even watched it. I know I wasn't around for like when it came out, but it's such a good film. People need to watch that film more. Kill Bill, same kind of thing. Kind of like Reservoir Dogs, same director, I think. I've not seen the second Kill Bill, even though Kill Bill is like one of my favourite films. I've only seen it once. I saw it very recently, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good. The music's great. The plot's good. It's just a good cheesy, not really cheesy actually, just a good action thing. The same vein as Matrix, but just, I don't know, more actiony and less sci-fi. And then we've got some like classics. Titanic's a great film. I always watch Titanic. You always want them to live at the end of Titanic, but they never do. You always look at them and you're like, come on, you can do it, you can make it, and they never do, and it's just so disheartening. But yeah, that's a good film. If you want a good cry or whatever, watch that. It's great. If you've not watched it, I recommend you go watch it right now. Hot Fuzz, for a good comedy. Simon Pegg, Cornetto Person, just a really good one. I just like how it's like a quaint village, and then it turns out to be like a secret cult. I think it's just a really good like scenario. Its characters, an amazing character. It's just a really good, good role he plays. I think Countryside is like an unplayed kind of role in films. I don't think there's that many films about countryside things in like the English countryside days, but yeah, it's just really good to go watch it. And last of all, Tron was absolutely awful when it came out, and it got absolutely slated for the reviews, but it's always had a little special place in my heart just because I thought it was so cool. I watched it when I was like 7, with all like the light bikes and the discs on the back, and like they threw them and they had a fight, and then they had like Daft Punk with the nightclub scene, and I just thought that was like really cool. Yeah, I just liked it a lot. I just thought like the colours were vibrant. It was an alright story, bit rushed at times. CGI was absolutely awful, especially with like when they try and clone the person. It just looks terrible. Maybe it's not aged too well, but yeah, it's just a really good film. Just enjoy it. I just like the whole sci-fi disc thing. I think it's just a really cool thing because you always see people fight with like swords or guns, but like discs on the back that like spin like frisbees and they bounce off like walls and stuff and like shatter you. I just thought it was a really cool like abstract kind of concept. I just really enjoyed it. Anyway, that's enough. Those are some of my favourite films. They are not my favourite films because I keep on watching films that I've like watched before and I'm like, oh my god, this is my favourite film, and then I watch another film like, oh my god, this is my favourite film. So yeah, it's just like a never ending cycle of favourite films. One day I'll realise what my favourite film actually is and I'll tell you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.